Are we streaming? I don't check Facebook. Check the stream. Go to the stream. Yep, we are streaming. There we go.
Live from Clinically Inane. It's Clinically Inane.
Yes. Live from our home. Live from our house.
Live from this room.
Live from this room. I moved the cameras around a little bit, see if we can get a little bit of a better idea.
Do we go like this? Do we go like
this? Yeah. I mean, until we can get like something that's a little bit fancier of a setup, this will work. I think this will work. This should work.
This will have to work.
This will work for now. Did you just spill coffee on yourself?
No, my microphone needs twisty. There we go.
There.
That's better.
Okay. Just want to make sure that you're actually going there.
Yeah, I'm not just like talking to the side of the microphone over here, nice and quietly.
Yeah. Nope. I think you're good to go. Again, we're just playing with this. We're getting used to it. We're getting used to the style.
Does it show us how many people are watching?
Yeah, currently none.
Ooh, that's my favorite number.
Yeah. But you know what? We're just trying it out. See if people want to jump on the stream, they can jump on the stream. They don't have to.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be a little bit better and give people more of a 10-minute heads up of when we're getting ready to record.
It wasn't that much of a heads up.
It wasn't even that much. It was 5.5 minutes.
If that.
Yeah. I probably should have posted that like an hour ago.
Yeah, before you fought the Rancor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before I fought the Rancor. I beat the Rancor.
You did?
Easily.
Because you knew the secret.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
God, it's only 15?
No,
it's longer than that because I put that one in high school.
It would have been 2002-ish.
Was it that late?
I want to say 2000 to 2002, somewhere in there. I think I played the game late. Maybe. Like, I think I played the original.
You're playing KOTOR 1, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm playing KOTOR. Just right now. I'd mentioned before, our good friend.
Wow.
What?
It was 2003.
2003. Okay, cool.
I felt like it was earlier.
Our good friend Andy Doborowski over at Two Bards helped me mod my old Xbox.
Yeah.
And loaded it up with a bunch of games. And I decided this morning that I wanted to play some Knights of the Old Republic. So I did.
The delay is screwing with me a little.
Yeah, don't look at the screen. Like I said, this is why they have people who do this so that you don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Do we need to hire a video person?
I am the video person. I'm what I can afford.
You might be a little high for your own prices.
I might be a little bit too expensive for myself. But yeah, Andy helped me get the Xbox modded, and so this morning I decided I wanted to play some Knights of the Old Republic.
Nice.
It's still really great.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that it is very clearly based on the
20 side.
Just on a basic D&D style RPG system. Whereas, like, I guess games now are based on that.
But it's come a long ways.
Well, it's more like KOTOR openly is like, hey, this is based on a variable 1 through 20 to hit. And when you're adding in your
modifiers,
when you're adding in your stats, like getting stat bumps and stuff like that, it'll actually tell you your modifier. So this will be +1, -1. That
I think there was a KOTOR like tabletop game.
I know there's a Star Wars RPG game because I've played it. A few times. I'd forgotten that it was, I guess when I was younger and playing it, I hadn't played D&D yet.
That makes sense.
Or any RPG of any kind.
Yeah.
Other than video games.
Yeah.
And so this one was like, I didn't understand the math of it when I was younger.
I played Neverwinter Nights a lot that time period too, and that was heavily based on.
Well, Neverwinter is a.
Yeah, but also was using a lot of the mechanics from it too.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I guess I just forgotten that. Oh shit! I just remembered something. I have to run downstairs and grab something real quick. I'm gonna leave you in charge for like 2 minutes.
Let's see what we can do.
Okay, this is going to be great for streaming stuff, but I have something that I wanted to share. Okay. I'll be back in just a second. This is great stream.
All right. I mean, this is a fascinating part. I could host it myself. I had a dream early this week, actually. I got in a fight with a door. I was really depressed. I was trying to convince it to do its job. The dream, it turns out, the door was upset because it had a jam and no peanut butter. Yeah, no one else has liked that joke either. I don't know. I've been having weird dreams. Like, there was the plant that gave me some advice that little potted plant told me that people can never be wrong or seldom right. There was the goat who gave me the blessing that may be the reason why someone lies awake at night, whether out of fear or lust. I told the story about the door.
Yeah. No, I picked up where you were coming with that. Yeah. I heard the goat.
Okay.
Yeah.
You actually used to be able to hear goats from my parents' house.
You can hear goats from my parents' house right now. They're next door screaming. Well, I say screaming. They're just talking.
They're goating.
Yeah, they're being goats. Just.
There's actually a last time I was with my parents, one of the neighbors had a lost goat sign up.
But no, yeah, I'd forgotten that it was just pure RPG.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
And I guess like when I was doing character creation this morning, going through it, I was like, holy shit, this is like a straight RPG.
Yeah, I mean, unlike a true RPG, you can't really go off book too much.
No, unfortunately. You like they did a really great job with their options for being able to follow different storylines and plot lines and things like that, being able to make different decisions throughout the game.
Light side, dark side.
Yeah, like it's very.
Does it
open?
Was it
for
KOTOR that unlocked, or was it Jedi Academy? I think Jedi Academy unlocked different powers depending on how light side, dark side you were.
No, this one does.
Okay,
yeah, you can't use Force Lightning if you're light side.
Okay, Jedi Academy you could, but kind of the more you went to one side, the more powerful those powers became.
Yeah, there's some that you just straight can't use
unless you're full dark.
Unless you're dark or light.
Okay.
Yeah, and this one also explored the idea. I mean, clearly. This is early BioWare, so they're building up to what would eventually become stuff like Mass Effect and Dragon Age. And stuff. But they did experiment with the light side, dark side of how you stand in your character screen. Yeah. Like it's a very basic thing. When it's light side, you're very like chest is up, is out, and when you're dark side, it's very like a little bit more curled. And also your skin goes
light or dark,
gets paler and more washed out as you go if you decide to go dark.
Do you start glowing if you go full light side?
I don't know if you start glowing. I don't think that happens.
Never one of my favorite little things was if you ever hit level 20 monk, like just played a pure monk, got him a maximum level, his eyes would glow as soon as you hit level 20.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like none of the other ones did this. So you hit level 20, but just the monk's eyes would just, like radiate light. I think it was actually like a little like flame effect coming out of it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, the monk was a tricky one to play because like you had no weapons, no armor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's kind of the fun part of playing a monk in D&D now. Is that was monks and barbarians, you lose points to your armor class if you wear armor.
Yeah, in Neverwinter Nights, the monks actually had perks if they were
if you're unarmored, you get an unarmored armor AC bonus.
Yeah,
and on top of your dexterity, adding to your AC and all that stuff. Which is why if it's bad to play a monk, or it's harder to play a monk or barbarian with a low dexterity rating.
I can see that
because your natural AC, your AC is 10 plus your dexterity rating plus whatever else, So if your dexterity bonus is +2, your natural AC is 12.
Yeah.
And then you can add on to that with armor. So like leather armor is +1, or with depending on the race, barbarians, stuff like that, will have anywhere from another +2 to +4 for unarmored bonus. And so like there's a bunch of different bonuses and stuff that you can get for that. But
Yeah. Neverwinter Nights also, there were certain weapons that, there were a couple weapons that basically only a monk could use. There were some that only a monk or a fighter could use. Like, I think a fighter actually had to get a special class in order to use some of them.
well, yeah, fighters are.
But like there's an like in Neverwinter Nights, there was like an exotic weapons class
Oh yeah,
that monks could use or fighters could get a feat to use.
yeah, that sounds about right. Or it's something like finesse weapons, and stuff like that. That only certain classes can use, or martial weapons.
Yeah.
Only certain classes can use. Monks, I believe, can use martial weapons.
Yeah, or staffs or.
That's a martial weapon.
Oh yeah, well there was a different category because there was one like staffs that.
There's simple weapons.
Well, like there was staff, like there's but Neverwinter Nights, I think there's a whole staff like class because wizards could use it and monks could use it and fighters could get a feat to use it.
Okay. Yeah, in D&D there's simple weapons, and that sometimes includes like staffs and stuff like that. But there's also martial weapons that are heavier duty versions, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I've been playing Torchlight recently.
Yeah, which is
different.
different.
Yeah, it's Diablo based, but a lot of the same weapon class stuff and
Torchlight is cartoon Diablo.
steampunk Diablo.
It's goofy Diablo. Is
yeah.
how I always thought of it.
A little more cartoonish than Diablo was.
Yeah.
With the mods though, I've got more class options and whatnot. And
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how. What was it? I don't know. I fucking lost it. It's gone now. I don't know if you've looked at any of the stuff coming out of D&D Live though. Down in
Nope.
I mentioned to
You mentioned one.
I mentioned to you the new campaign that they're doing.
Yeah.
That they're releasing.
The Baldur's Gate one.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate, and I don't remember what it is, what the third title, the second title, excuse me, is on it, but it's Baldur's Gate something.
I would say we should start doing a playthrough in our house, but we haven't even been great at Gloomhaven at this point.
I know. We'd be better off at a one shot kind of thing. But I'm excited about possibly getting to. I talked to my DM yesterday when the news came out about it. I was like, that venturing through a hellscape, like getting to venture through a hellscape, like the way that Chris Perkins described it, it was kind of like Mad Max D&D.
I like it.
Yeah. And having it be a Mad Max D&D, I think would be it's really rife to be able to play an evil alignment character.
Yeah.
Like quite easily.
Neutral
and evil. It'd be tougher, but could be real interesting to play a good character.
It would be. I mean, I think a lot of games, the less society you have, the easier it is to play evil.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and Baldur's Gate is literally going to hell. It's literally a hellscape.
Yeah.
So it's I think it could be fun to play a lawful evil character in a hellscape.
I always thought it'd be fun to play like an evil character in a city, but also playing a hellscape. Playing like a neutral good character sounds like fun to me.
It could be really fun too. Just trying to. Well, I mean, that was kind of the initial premise of Looking for Group, if you remember.
Yeah.
Because the way that Looking for Group was set up, the comic, was it started right after the expansion to World of Warcraft that brought in Blood Elves. Mm-hmm. And Blood Elves were a evil race. They're a horde race.
Yeah.
So evil is relative, I suppose. Because the horde doesn't think they're evil, that kind of thing.
That's the thing I would like about the horde, and that is both sides kind of have their evil and good stuff.
Yeah, totally. But the Kale, the main character, starts off being he wants to do good things and be a hero, but he's a blood elf.
Yeah.
And so it's
everyone assumes he's evil.
Richard the Undead Warlock hooks up with him originally because he's like, oh, your race is supposed to be not good, and you're trying to be good. This is going to be very entertaining.
Yeah.
And that was the whole premise of it originally. So trying to be a good character in a hellscape could be really, really fun. I
know. Early Looking for Group also always reminded me a bit of Drizzt.
Drizzt? Yes.
With the inherently evil race, but trying to be a good person. And trying to be
a good...
And both how you behave as that, as well as how society views you for your race.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the interesting things. That's why I think it would be fun to play a lawful evil character like that, because technically you're evil, but you have a very strict code of morals that you follow.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a fascinating character to play.
Yeah. Especially if you define lawful evil as you have a strict moral character and not you have a strict need to manipulate laws.
No, that's because that's not what a lawful evil character is. A lawful evil character is a character who is technically evil and is willing to do whatever they need to do to get to have that done. But they follow a strict code of rules. A good example of a lawful evil character would be like the big bad's top henchman.
Yeah.
Like their second in command, because they have a very strict code of rules that they follow for their for what they are.
Yeah.
They're not a good person.
I mean, I also think of some like fanatical characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fanatic, like, or yeah, cultists.
Yeah.
Cultists would be technically lawful evil
Because they have a strict.
guideline that they follow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was it they brought in from Ravnica, or the Rakdos cultists would be considered lawful evil characters.
Yep.
Probably. I mean, depending on how you play it. I think it would be really interesting also to be an ex-Rakdos cultist trying to be a good person.
Yeah.
That'd be really fascinating. Yeah, no, when they announced that yesterday, I was like, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That does.
Our current campaign, we're playing through the Dungeon in a Box thing, which is a...
That's the one where you're just running around cardboard boxes and you're secretly in a store. And
the entire thing is actually takes place while Snake is waiting inside a cardboard box for somebody to go by, and it's just him playing with action figures.
Oh, I was thinking it just takes place in a Best Buy or something.
No.
Dungeon in a Box.
Dungeon in a Box is kind of like it's a subscription service for Dungeon Masters.
Yeah.
And like right now they're only on one campaign. Like if you subscribe right now, you will get one campaign for like the next year.
Okay.
Before they click over to a new one.
All right.
So like I looked at it to be like, is there like, do they have other campaigns that they're doing? And it's the same one that we're playing currently.
If it's a monthly subscription of this campaign that takes a year, what happens if you subscribe 3 months in?
You get the same one. You start at the beginning.
Okay. But then it's only for a year, so do you only
it's a
get
year
9
based
months
on no.
It's a year based on
it's
when
a
you
year
subscribe.
based on when you subscribe.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
From what I can tell.
That would be really annoying.
It's X amount of time based on when you subscribed. So whether or not you subscribed 3 months ago or you subscribe tomorrow, your first box is going to be the same.
Because it'd be really annoying if it jumps you in 3 months in or it cuts off the last 3 months.
Yeah, no, that would be really, really irritating. No, it's and the one it starts you at is actually one
you arrive at the Big Bad's castle, and we're on to a new campaign.
Yeah. No, the one that they start you at is one that they actually advertise it as you can subscribe or you can just get the first box, and if you get the first box, it's a good
one shot.
It's a good one shot.
Nice.
And that's what our DM asked us if we wanted to try it.
Yeah.
Before we jumped into anything, he's like, we can go to some of the source books, or I can try creating something, but I saw this. I wanted to try it. Do you guys want to try it? We're like, yeah, sure.
I want to do it.
Let's give it a try. Yeah. And I'm really enjoying it. He's had to fix a couple of the puzzles.
Okay.
But the story that it's set up is pretty good.
Now, did you fix the puzzles, or did you just have to make them easier for you?
No, one of the puzzles was wrong.
Okay.
There's a typo in the puzzle, essentially. And it was, he looked at it and went, no, that's wrong. But it was, we figured out the puzzle.
Yeah.
But he told us what it said originally. We were like, that doesn't make any sense. It's not a puzzle. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
We never would have figured that out. And he's like, yeah, I didn't figure it out, and they told me how to. So he had to fix it. But
are you going to carry to multiply 4 and 4. You're going to take 4, multiply by 4, carry the 1 over here, and it's going to come out to 18. Wait.
Yeah. No, it was a word puzzle.
Okay.
Essentially. But yeah, it took us, I'm surprised we figured it out, actually.
Yeah.
It was a tough puzzle.
Nice.
It was actually a really tough puzzle.
It would have
But
been tougher to have the wrong answer.
yeah, right. But no, it was a lot of fun.
That'd actually be really entertaining. Like you're approaching the god of deception, and his riddle is just wrong.
Yeah.
God of lies gives a false puzzle.
Yeah. The one thing that I will say, like, I would be interested in seeing how. I guess I can't see behind the DM screen, and I'm not looking to.
Yeah.
So like, I say that in the grander scheme because I want to know how things are getting put together to play out, because we've definitely gone off the beaten path a bit. But thankfully, we have a good DM who was able to kind of like tell the story to pull us back on.
You take this path, and the world just ends. There's nothing beyond
Yeah,
it.
the world ended.
You're staring at eternal nothingness if you continue down this path. Let's go for it.
Let's go. Sounds fun.
Your characters float through nothing.
Yeah,
They interact with nothing.
he wasn't expecting us to accidentally buy the bar.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yep.
He was extremely pleased when he found out that my favorite enemy is high elves.
Have there been a few high elves?
We encountered some high elf ghost armor.
That was early on, wasn't it?
It was like the first or second game. And then our bard was like, "You guys are in the wrong spot." and basically told them that they were about a mile off from where they thought they should be, and they just the ghosts basically apologized and left. Whereas I'm up front going, "Guys, ghost armor. And they're like, yeah, what? Like, I'm sitting there like, prepare yourselves. It's ghost armor. And the bard's like, "Oh no, yeah, you're in the wrong spot." Which I suppose is what's great about bards, is they get to do that, especially one who's a traveling bard, so he has bardic knowledge of
everything,
of
everywhere,
of the local area. And so it was just a really interesting, fun way of doing that. But yeah, I'd be interested to get a closer look at the new
Let's
D&D
go to
module.
hell.
Yeah, it should be fun. Real quick before we jump into our review.
I mean, there were so many things in the 80s about D&D said taking you to hell, so it just makes sense,
right? But real quick before we jump into it, I wanted to show this because one of the listeners to the show, Matt Grandis.
Are we gonna tell the story about how it got here?
Of how it got here?
You waiting all day for a package sent?
Yeah. It said that I had to fucking sign for it, and so I just literally hung around all day to fucking sign for it, and then they just kind of like threw it on the doorstep and left.
What entertained me is that entire time you're waiting, I'm just up by the door working on my computer.
Yeah, I mean, I was also playing Civ.
Yeah.
So
you had errands to go run.
I did have errands to go run, but I was super annoyed because they said that it was going to be delivered in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I watched the UPS My Choice thing. That UPS driver was bad at what they were doing. Like
they actually delivered all the packages in alphabetical order.
Yeah, they literally drove by our house within a block of our house 5 times.
Yeah, alphabetical order.
Yeah, it was.
They were delivering the orders in the order that they were placed.
Yeah, it was bananas. But it said UPS said I had to sign for it on the website. It said signature required.
Which made you really wonder what it was.
Yeah, and I was sitting there like, okay, well, what is Matt sending us? Because he got the address last week, and
but it's like, what is a grant sending that would require a signature,
right? And turns out it didn't require a signature. But Matt wrote a book.
He did.
I haven't got to start reading it yet. I'm actually planning to do some reading this weekend with it. Maybe get some reading tomorrow afternoon. But I wanted to show it because Matt self-published it. It's his first book. It's called, I'll just hold it up right here. It's called Black Knight.
Oh, there it is. Wait.
Yeah. There. Yeah. No, I'm on the screen. It's just delayed.
That delay is so screwing with me.
And Matt's a really smart dude who has a really good grasp on storytelling. So in the years that I've known him, and that we've had conversations about storytelling and about story structure and the way things are. This sounds actually really interesting. It's definitely very up. Here, I'll just read it. I'll read the back cover, the book description. After the sudden death of her father, Juno Price has to return to the one place she swore never to set foot in again, her old childhood home of Hobbs End, New Mexico. Here, Juno has to face the dark secret that tore her family apart when she was a child. Rekindling old friendships, confronting old enemies, and struggling with her relationship with her estranged stepmother, Juno comes to the realization that everyone was wrong about the truth behind the Roswell incident and the mysterious Black Knight satellite, and that her imaginary childhood friend wasn't as imaginary as she thought.
Bum bum bum.
It sounds interesting.
It does.
Yeah, I'm really excited to sit down and
what really happened in Roswell.
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations, Matt. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah. You made shit.
Yeah, you made something. Like, go make something. And so that's number one. That's fucking awesome. Number two, thank you for sending it. I'm very excited to read it.
Which means Matt is not allowed to criticize books.
Yeah. And number three, that means you should jump onto Amazon. Matt is self-published, so jump onto Amazon. Black Knight by, it's Knight, by the way, not
Black Knight.
Black Knight. Jump over onto Amazon and pick it up. Get yourself a copy. I'm not sure if it's on ebook, but I'm assuming it is.
I don't think Amazon. I think Amazon does it by default, self-published.
Yeah. So
it'd be weird if they didn't.
Yeah, but I'm very excited to sit down and read this. Yeah. So that's fucking awesome. And it's very in the vein of kind of everything that, that knowing Matt over the years and knowing the community that we do, that making your own thing is very much something that we strive to encourage and are very happy when people do.
I think at this point, though, anyone who goes to look for is going to have one question.
What?
What's Matt's last name?
Grandis. I've said it multiple times.
No.
Yes, I have.
I pretty much always said Matt.
No, I said Matt, and you called him Grandis.
I get called Grandis, yeah.
Yes, and I said it multiple times. Matt Grandis.
Matthew Grandis?
Nope.
Matt Grandis.
Matt Grandis is not Matthew.
Matt.
Yeah.
It's German.
Yeah, even still, it's not Matthew.
Is it Matthias?
In English, it would be Matthias.
Matthias?
I believe. But I don't know how it sounds in German. I don't know. Matt can...
Far angrier.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Jump onto Amazon, pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to read it.
Totally.
Okay. You know what it's time for? Movie review.
What movie do we see?
Dog's
Journey?
We went and saw Dog's Journey.
Yeah.
And they killed the dog.
Repeatedly. Over and over.
Yep.
Gruesomely every time.
Strangely enough, this movie series did start with a dog's death, so yeah. It's just a different type of dog's journey.
A dog's journey from the kennel to the grocery store.
Yeah. But we went and saw John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.
Yes.
Which Parabellum is prepare for war.
Yes.
If I remember, yeah.
They say it at one point in the movie.
He says, Ian McShane says.
Because there's an old Latin quote that is if you want peace, prepare for war.
Yeah.
And the prepare for war part is Parabellum.
Yeah. So what did you think?
Meh, it was okay. Love story could use a bit more.
What did you really think?
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was great. I'm so glad. As we were leaving, I just looked at Button and was like, thank God these movies are still awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, thinking back on it, I enjoyed the second one the least of the three so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the second one has a lot to it that I really, really like, but on the grand overall scheme, the first one very much is a thing of its own beauty.
It is.
And while the second one is great, I think it tries a little bit too hard to make it a larger, sprawling epic.
That's kind of like what I like about the second one is that it's building a universe.
Yeah, and I guess that needed to happen for us to jump into this third one and just be like, here's our universe.
Deal with it.
And we accept that that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Is that we are in this universe and it's just part of it. Mm-hmm. This one had, I think, a little bit more. I think one of the things that I did enjoy about this is it had a little bit more of the bureaucracy. Actually,
yeah,
it was very like. It's like,
I mean, any institution's been around for a while is going to have a bureaucracy.
Yeah, it's very much a like.
I mean, there's a character just simply known as the auditor.
The adjudicator.
That
the
was
adjudicator. And they are an interesting character.
They are.
I wanted so bad for a few things to happen that didn't. I was just like, and it's.
But I think that's part of the beauty of the story.
Well, and the thing is it's not because the story is missing it.
No,
it's because the character is very much one of those things where it's like, ah.
But that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Like. The good stories, the characters you dislike don't always die. The characters you like don't always live.
Yeah. Well, and it's less about the. I'm just gonna stay. You keep on turning. Play to the camera, boy. Play to the camera. Not that close to the camera.
Hello, beautiful.
See, you know how you talk on stage and you have to open yourself up? And then talk?
Shall I go to theater voice for the rest of the podcast?
No, not theater voice.
Okay.
Theater staging. No. I like how you immediately went back to where you were. There you go. Nope, too far. Stop right there. Yeah, we'll get it there eventually.
I'm just going to sit there and roll back and forth.
If we can cover as much of your face with the microphone as possible, that would be great.
Okay, how's this?
Perfect. And we can barely hear you too.
Even better.
You went further.
This is people who just listen to podcasts is going to make no sense.
I know. They're going to have to watch it. There you go. Stop right there.
I'll talk to the 3D printer.
There you go.
See, the problem with talking to 3D printers, I'm going to get distracted about things I need to do on
I
it.
know. I've been looking at my hard drives. But you're absolutely right. It is something that's been when they create a character that is played so well that you get frustrated with them because they're supposed to be a frustrating character.
That's perfect.
It's exactly what the character is, and it's just like the entire movie is just like, oh, fuck you for like the entire movie. And that's exactly the way that it should be.
Yeah.
But the things that I really enjoyed about it too is like, and they've done a good job with it, is this, all of these movies have taken place over the course of a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like the technology in it is not updated, like in terms of the technology that you and I would use on a day-to-day basis.
Interesting balance of where technology's updated and hasn't in this.
Yeah, like certain things that are antiquated and certain things that aren't.
Because so going back to the second one, you can talk a bit about there's this process for excommunicating someone from this society.
To excommunicate somebody. Yeah,
and it starts with they make a phone call.
Yep.
Someone pulls out a physical file. It is physically stamped.
Yep.
It is then at an old secretary. What I love is it's the old roll top desk style they're using.
Yeah. Well, I also love that they're all they're all like old secretary type people, but they're all covered in tattoos and they're all.
And a lot of them are have that same outfit but sleeveless.
They're all like punked out.
Yeah.
And like covered in tattoos and piercings, but they're all women in their like 50s and 60s.
There's a variety range.
Yeah, but for the most part, I thought that was such a
beautiful
great little world building
because it also builds into that idea though because it's stamped and someone literally announces it over a microphone.
Yeah,
then it's typed into like a 1970s computer.
90s.
90. Well, it's the old green text on the screen.
90s.
it's typed into a pre-GUI computer,
Yes.
pre-graphic user interface computer.
Yeah.
But then it also sends out a text message to everyone who's using new smartphones.
Well, a lot of them are using burners, burner
Yeah.
styles, like the flip phones.
Some are
and
using
the
flip, some
click
have
open.
smart.
Yeah.
Because you do see smartphones used in it. You see flip phones used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have a chalkboard that they write everything down
Yeah.
on. Yeah. No, it's a really fascinating world building technique and a mix of modern and antiquated technologies.
Well, there's a scene with a vault
yeah.
where it's got a hand scanner to open an old fashioned
Yeah, an old fashioned vault.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's just it's a really interesting world that they've built,
Yeah.
and it also like that there are so many assassins out in the world that are just always kind of working.
And there's people who are basically, there's a couple you pay attention. They're basically, they have a regular job.
Yeah, they have
and
their
they're
regular
called up
job
for special things.
Yeah, or they're just working their regular job, and
Yeah.
that's what they do.
And they're not assassinated.
when they're not assassinated.
And there looks like there's some others who are full time at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it brings into question what type of world this is, because there's no cops. Like, we haven't seen cops. They're just left out of it completely.
I'll have to go back and watch the first two again.
Yeah, there's no cops.
Yeah.
You'll notice that it makes me wonder if this is a world that has reached this point in society where there aren't police, but just this shadow organization that people accept exists.
Maybe.
Or they just don't even know about it, and they live a blissful world in a blissful universe for the most part,
Unless they commit a crime.
unless they commit a crime or do something that brings something down upon them.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if that's kind of the universe that we're living in, because I don't like the amount of times that we should have seen a cop and didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Or if the cops are paid off by that's the
I
other
mean, the cops
possibility.
are the cops part of this organization?
Yeah, or are they just being told to ignore part of it?
Yeah.
Because in a world where there's cops, I can't believe in a world where there's police officers, I cannot believe that they would do all that stuff, and that John wouldn't like team up with one at one point, kind of thing.
Yeah. Or something like that.
Or something like that.
Because there's a question of, you can use assassins to force a certain level of crime, but what do you do for someone stealing a candy bar?
Yeah.
It's a strange. If that's your level of response, it's a strange totalitarian dictatorship.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an extreme measure.
Yes, it is. And it's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good question. We don't know. But it'll be an interest. There's no way there's not a fourth one at this point. But I believe they've already said that they're going to keep making them.
Actually, going back to the building of the world and the technology, I think that's part of my fascination with it. Is it's kind of the same reason I'm fascinated with steampunk.
Yeah.
Is it this weird blend of kind of a antiquated and newer technology mashed together?
Yeah.
Or even a sci-fi technology mashed with antiquated. And
Yeah. I mean, we actually saw our first administrator in this.
Yeah.
And who was working with all the women who are doing all the stuff. And I was actually really surprised when I looked on. I was like, that's fucking Robin Lord Taylor from fucking Gotham. It's Penguin from Gotham. Or ADD from Accepted, depending on
your generation
and what you watch.
Well, technically, they're probably the same generation. People watching might be the same generation.
It's true, they might be. Depending on what you watch or remember, though. But I think no. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Anyway, but
I think I don't know.
I'm trying to remember who played the brother in Wedding Crashers that paints the painting.
No, I don't remember.
I'm curious. I have to know now if it's Robin Lord Taylor. I have to know.
And we Google.
And we IMDb.
And we IMDb. We IMDb.
Who plays her brother?
Do we know? Doesn't matter.
Okay, it's not him. It's another guy completely. But But I just kind of remember him having
So
that.
I'm just like, it's an actor. It doesn't look anything like him.
You could say that they look
Okay.
similar.
I was gonna be really entertained if it was like not like him at all.
Yeah, no, you could absolutely say that they look similar.
Could they play brothers?
No, it's just that
Could they play cousins?
no, they don't play anything.
No, could they?
Oh, could they? I that you're saying did they? And it's like,
No.
could they play? Could they play? Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, they could. But anyway, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's entertaining.
Yeah.
No, one of the things that I appreciated that you're absolutely right with the second one is it built this world out that we now inhabit and we live in, and we understand that this is the world that it is.
And you get these like some of the most like there's two main we kind of see them like the characters.
Yeah.
The manager and
Winston,
the manager Winston and
the concierge.
the concierge, but also the guy the king of
The Bowery.
the king of the Bowery.
Yeah.
Like they're fascinating characters.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
These kind of like people who have their own little fiefdoms.
yeah. They have their specific thing they're in charge of.
Yeah.
And
How they all play a different
the
role.
phrasing that gets into because everything's overseen by this table. So they're under
the
the
high table.
Everything's under the table, which
Which is
a wonderful
interesting phrase.
meaning,
Yeah. There's also the Russians. Don't forget the
Yeah.
Russians. Which, you get a bit of lore building about John Wick in this one too.
You do.
It's pretty interesting.
like his history. And,
You get a little bit more interesting, and that's the type of interesting history that I like to hear them build. Is to say like you get this one scene of like.
Also, you get a lot of history about this character.
You get a lot of history about the character in this one scene, but you don't get the specifics. You just know now, and it's like, oh god, that's so cool. Like,
Because up to then, all we really knew is he was an assassin who managed to get out of it by cashing in favors because he'd fallen in love and got out of it and
all that stuff.
got drugged back into it. And
Yeah.
after her death, and
Yep. And I thought one of the interesting things was the way that they did the. One of the interesting things was the way that they have their own little separate allegiances to their own little area pockets. Their fiefdom.
yeah,
Yes. And how they're considered to be under the table.
Mm-hmm.
And how the high table considers itself to be unimpeachable.
yeah, untouchable, unimpeachable.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one character they reveal above it, but they don't really seem to interact much.
No, yeah. And it's the question, and it's a question of where do your allegiances lie?
Mm-hmm.
Do your allegiances lie in this certain area? Do they do it like here, or there, like and are you being told the truth? Are you?
Yeah,
Like there's a whole lot of that, and from both a character standpoint and from an audience standpoint, are you being told the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are sometimes that we see things and it's like, oh, that happened,
yeah,
but it didn't. Like it's kind of a, or what we saw happened isn't exactly what happened, kind of thing.
yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of playing it out, and then seeing some characters' true motivations. Like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
and I kind of want to go see it again just because it was fucking rad. But I want to see,
like how much stuff is there leading up to certain twists? And-
yeah, because there honestly is a few twists in
Because
this.
this is really a very constructed story.
Yeah, it's a well constructed
Yeah.
universe and story that they're telling, whereas the first one is very just fucking rad.
But that's what I mean. The first one was meant off as like this. It was a one shot.
It was supposed to be, and then they're like, "Oh, cool! They're letting
This
us
did
make
well.
more."
Let's make more. And
Yeah, and they're like, "Okay, well, let's use this as an excuse to build this wider universe."
yeah,
And in doing so, they created this whole world that they can play in. And I think them getting to play in that universe is such an interesting thing.
and it does, like you mentioned, there's a possible TV show coming.
Yeah,
from this?
they've talked about turning the Continental into a television show.
I'd be curious to see how that goes. I know how I'd want it to go.
Yeah.
I'd want it to basically be, because it focuses that way on a hotel.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to see each episode kind of being a one-off of why this person is checking in and out of the hotel.
Yeah. Follow that.
Kind of centralized in the hotel, but follow a different person for each story.
Yeah. Have it be very anthology style.
Yeah.
Or maybe follow one person for a season, and then the next season you follow like they're why are they operating in town, and it takes them a season to get through it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do 6-episode seasons.
Yeah, or do a couple episodes with a character, and maybe one episode with a different character. And you can vary that up, and
I mean, that's something that's a very British way of thinking about making television. It's not an American way of thinking about television at all.
Well, Americans are doing it wrong.
Sometimes, yeah, actually,
because a lot of my favorite books have been like two of my favorite Star Wars books are Tales from Cantina and Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, which are
they're part of the Legends now, but they're anthology collections.
They're anthology collections
that anchor around a certain points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that was the way that the original Night Watch book was written too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was very much as anchored around this point in time that it happens, and then it kind of told you it from different perspectives, but you have a clear protagonist in the story.
Yeah.
It's just it tells you from different perspectives.
Because like there was Tales from Jabba's Palace where all the characters they anchor around Luke arriving in Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
There is Tales from the Cantina all anchor around Luke traveling through the scene where Luke is in the cantina.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they lead to that or lead from that or it's in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm. They were all there at the same time as them at one point.
Yeah.
And these are just the other things happening in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those kind of stories are real interesting.
They are.
And I think that would be a good way of doing the Continental if they do it as deep. Like, I don't know if it's moving forward. I just knew there was talk of
That could be a cool one.
I can't say otherwise.
Yeah.
If it's moving forward in any way, shape, or form. I just know that there was discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And Ian McShane and Lance Reddick would probably be totally down to do it.
They're both. They do movies and TV all the time.
Movies and TV all the time.
Yeah.
The fucking Lance Reddick does video games.
Well, Ian McShane did American Gods.
Ian McShane did American Gods, and they also have the Deadwood movie dropping soon.
Yeah.
And soon, it's not out already.
I don't know if Lawrence Fishburne would really, but he's a character that could show up in 1 or 2 episodes a season.
Yeah, and he doesn't. Well, and they don't need him there.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be part of it.
No.
It's part of it's the Continental. Lawrence Fishburne's character, the Bowery, doesn't show up until the second movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's why it was a big deal. It was like, oh my God, it's a Matrix reunion. Which there's another Matrix reunion in this one, by the way.
Yeah.
See if you can spot it. I was like, that guy looks familiar. And I looked it up and I was like, I knew he looked familiar.
That could be a character that could show up
throughout the series. Yeah.
Especially with what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. But
he's in high demand.
Yeah. And it was,
but I feel like even like there's a couple characters, like a couple of them, the medium bads that get fought.
Yeah,
they could be interesting little pieces for the Continental. And
yeah, there were a couple of guys that were assassins that you meet, and I realized I was like, oh fuck, that guy was in Star Wars Force Awakens.
Yeah,
it was the leader from Kanja Club.
Yeah.
And it's like I knew I recognized him, and who was awesome in this, by the way.
Yeah,
that's one thing. The fight scenes, like Keanu is in his 50s now.
Yeah,
and fuck, it's still. You can tell Keanu's been riding motorcycles and has ridden horses a long time because his legs are kind of doing the thing where they go out a little bit.
Yeah, bow a
little bit. And that's also a thing that comes with getting older.
Yeah.
But fuck this. The fighting is the fight scenes, the gunplay, the everything is still awesome.
It is,
and it's still like very much something that it's not. I was counting shots.
Yeah.
Like, and we don't always see them reload. That's okay. You can just assume they do.
Mm-hmm. Well, they also show that carrying a shit ton of bolts with them, and
yeah. Well, and there's one moment where John is against two other guys, and they all realize that they're out of bullets at the same time, and then they all reload to see who reloads the fastest.
Yeah.
And it was such a great moment.
Yep.
And fuck, Halle Berry was awesome. That was one thing. I was just like, I wasn't sure how much they were going to use her, and she gets used as a
She's
platform.
there for about an act.
She's there for the second act.
Yeah.
She's there for the second act, essentially.
Yep.
And the way that they use her in the second act, I thought was really effective.
It is.
And the fact that she trained the dogs herself,
Which is impressive.
which is well, they wanted them to react to her,
yeah.
not to trainers on set telling them what to do, to her.
I think part of what's cool at John Wick is they've gone away, like the gun training.
Yeah,
They've gone away from the Matrix need for sunglasses.
the Matrix need for.
Do you know why everyone in the Matrix wears sunglasses?
So they don't show them where they're shooting.
So they don't show them blink when they shoot.
Because
most of them had never really handled guns before.
well, and everyone blinks when they shoot.
Yeah.
Like,
But
most people blink when they shoot.
yeah. But they were trying to get away from showing that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them like blink heavily because they're new shooters.
Yeah.
And so they want to make that less obvious. So that's part of the reason why everyone wears sunglasses.
Yeah, no, I blink when I shoot, and I've been using guns for
Yeah.
a long time. But it's always it's never a
It's a blink, not a wince blink.
yes, it's a blink.
And early shooters will still sometimes have that wince
have
blink.
the blink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so that was part of the Matrix thing.
Yeah, whereas mine when I shoot it's just a
Yeah.
blink. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need to do that.
It was one of those weird details I learned, 20 years ago when
Yeah.
I'm finishing the movies up.
They weren't finishing the movies 20 years ago. They were finishing the movies 15 years ago. The first movie was 20
years ago. But they started in the first movie because of that, and they carried over the later ones just to keep the continuity.
Consistent, yeah. But no, that was one of the things that was that was great. That's carried throughout all of this is that Keanu and everyone else who has to, they learn what they're doing.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves has apparently always been super interested in all of the fighting and like everything that like
He knew
he talked about it was fun learning some kung fu and learning how to do wire work for the Matrix.
Yeah.
But for this, it was judo, jujitsu, and all the tactical gun training.
He's also talked about he kind of started getting into it with Matrix and has stuck with a lot of it since then.
Yeah, because he enjoys it.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
But then it makes another interesting level to the character where you're getting someone who's known this stuff for 20 years, not just someone who's been learning this choreography.
For the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and Keanu Reeves, like, somebody asked him, I saw an interview, they're like, how do you like to do your own stunts? He's like, I don't do stunts. I do action scenes.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Tom Cruise does stunts.
Yeah.
I guess most people look at him, Keanu Reeves, in a fight, and they're like, oh, it's a stunt.
Well, because a lot of movies use a stunt person.
Person for that. Yeah.
That's their job title.
Yeah. But it's not. It's an action scene.
Yeah.
A stunt, they probably use a stunt double for him getting hit by the cars.
Or there's a scene where he falls off a building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's CG'd,
Yeah.
But like stuff like that where, or it's partially CG, but yeah, that's not him getting in the fights and doing all the jujitsu and judo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's not a stunt. That's an action scene.
Well, and some movies are publishing more. You have stunt persons and then you have martial arts persons and
You have fight.
You have the fight choreography.
Well, you have a fight double. You have a
stunt double. Because they do different things.
Yeah, 100%. One of them falls off shit or runs through shit or gets thrown into shit. The other one fights.
One is winning the fight. One is losing the fight.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, a lot of them do both.
Yeah,
but yeah, there are some people who specialize more in one than the
Yeah.
other. But
even in stunt people, there's ones who specialize in certain types of stunts more than the others.
There's some people who specialize in falls. There's
Yeah.
some people who specialize in getting hit by cars.
Yeah.
There's some people who specialize in driving cars.
Going back to John Wick
that's
versus
fun.
Tom Cruise, you get John Wick is doing all of his fight scenes in this.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is doing things like in Mission Impossible Fallout, falling from the helicopter to the bundle of stuff below.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or doing the halo jump himself.
Yeah.
When they're like, we don't have to do this. And he's like, yes, we do.
Or breaking his foot, jumping to another building.
Oh my God, yeah. Watching that thing just go liquid in the movie. Ooh, that was rough.
Because apparently he made that jump.
They used the cut.
But the cut, if you pay attention, the full cut was he hits that. He breaks his foot in that shot.
And he gets
and
up and
keeps starts running. And
yeah.
then they cut this.
Yeah, and they use
The broken foot
the
scene.
broken foot shot. Yeah.
But like that means he broke his foot, got up and started running.
Yeah. And his foot was basically liquid.
They shut production down for like 4 weeks.
6 weeks.
Or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is also the amount of time would have been required for what's his face to regrow, to fix it, redo his mustache for
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Which is hilarious. But no, it's that's one of the things that they've done a really good job with in this series is the fight scenes. And just like I don't think there's anything as rough as the pencil scene still from John Wick 2.
Yeah.
But there's a
couple scenes that are definitely
a couple that like it wasn't a super crowded audience
Yeah.
because we saw it middle of the day, but there's definitely some that you could just hear people in the audience go, including ourselves, go, oh fuck.
I can think of 3 off the top of my head.
The person next to you.
No, like 3 big moments.
Yeah, I can too. The axe moment was fucking great.
Yeah. There's the book.
Yep. And then
the sword.
The sword.
And the toenail.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, the audience went.
Yeah, the audience cringed. I did.
Yeah.
That one didn't bother me at all because I fucking played sports and I dated gymnasts and ballet
You did an entire show
dancers.
where you had bamboo shoved under your fingers.
I didn't have bamboo shoved in my
you didn't, did
fingernails.
you? It was the other character.
It was the other character. No, I had a steel rod shoved through my chest.
That was it.
A railroad spike. That's what it was. But yeah, shoved under his fingernails. He had clay on. He had modeling clay on his fingernails.
Yep.
That they shoved the bamboo rods into that. Yeah. If you looked really close, his fingers were awfully puffy, which is pretty easy to notice on him because he was a skinny fucking dude with wiry fingers. On us, you wouldn't notice as much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I really, really enjoyed it a lot.
It's fun. Don't take your children.
Oh, yeah. And also, turn off your fucking phone.
God, that guy.
There's a guy behind us who answered a call twice.
Yeah.
The second time he left. I don't know if he came back.
I don't know.
But also over to my side, I saw one person get a phone call, look at it, decide not to answer it, but still held it there.
Yeah.
And I just saw another person just get out their phone. Like, I know we saw a midday showing of it.
Yeah.
Turn off your fucking phone.
You know, if you really need to go to a midday showing and use your phone,
Why
there's
are
a back row for the reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was very just shitty.
Yeah.
It honestly, I don't think if you feel like you might be getting a phone call or have something important that you need to do, don't go to the movie.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I know that on times where I've had time to kill and been like, oh, okay, like I could go see a movie, but I'm also waiting for a phone call. No, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
And then get the phone call like right when I would have been in the middle of the theater. Like it's literally happened to me. And it's like, well, I'm glad I didn't fucking go then because I would have missed that phone call or I would have been that asshole in the theater with my phone on. Turn off your fucking phone when you go in the theater.
Or buy out the entire theater.
Or buy out the entire theater. That's why I do appreciate the Alamo Draft House in Austin, Texas. Like you can use your phone up until they tell you to turn off your phones.
Yeah.
And when they tell you to turn off their phones, they fucking mean it. If they have people watching, and if you get seen using your phone,
You're out.
You're out. It's lifetime ban.
Nice.
Like, nope, don't get to come back.
Yeah.
And I fully support that. I actually was on a date with somebody who got out their phone and texted during a movie.
How was the second date?
Didn't have one. Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. That's not okay.
I mean, when I was working in theater, we'd have doctors who would like they would talk to the box office beforehand and say, "Hey, if I get a call, this is my seat. I'm a doctor."
Yeah,
because there are some surgeons, especially who are on call 24/7.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. But yeah, It's just fucked up.
We had one who was a regular who was a regular theater, and he always bought aisle seats too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he actually had a season's ticket for an aisle seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you got to go, you got to go. And that's being aware of your situation.
Yes.
People who are just...
I mean, he was also like a patron of the theater.
Yeah.
Like he was a donor on top of being...
It's still being aware of your situation.
Yeah.
Like, that is acceptable.
Yeah. Because an usher can come down quietly, tap you, you're out.
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. However, just getting a call and talking loudly on the phone during a movie.
Yep.
No bueno. Not fucking cool. I've actually yelled at people before. And my brother has kicked the back of somebody's seat. Like they were sitting in front of us and like texting during the movie. And my brother just straight up kicked the back of the right where it would have hit them in the back of the head.
Good.
It's like, and they're like, hey, turn off your fucking phone. Okay.
Like again, if you really want to sit in a movie and text, go to a matinee and sit in the very back row and crank your brightness down.
There was also the time that we had a bunch of kids who were just chatting loudly throughout the entire movie, and I literally turned around and just went, shut the fuck up. I was like, and they're like, there was no parent with them. It was just a bunch of like 12 to 13-year-old kids and big dude with a resonant voice. Yeah. So when I turn around and tell them shut the fuck up, they shut the fuck up. And and then the lady next to me just goes, thank you.
I've only had a problem with teenagers once in a theater.
Yeah.
I went to see a show back when actually my brother was in it. Like, I guess he wasn't in the show. He was in the audience. And
yeah. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed John Wick 3.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more. Keep making them.
I feel like, we do the, hey, should you go see it? If you like John Wick 1 and 2, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And
if you took your kids to John Wick 1 and 2, you're a bad parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, we're getting to the end. Just a quick reminder, if you want to check out the stream for this, if you want to check out the video for this, you can do so by heading on over to actually the page, clinically.inane.us. And if you go to the link for this episode, there will be a YouTube link up on there. That goes up on Sundays at noon, the same time as this, as the audio version goes out. Or you can jump over to Twitch and follow us on there. We are not at any sort of affiliate level yet. So getting followers, people who want to watch the show or go back and watch old episodes, because until you're an affiliate, the episodes only last so long before they go away. You're being weird. Okay. The episodes only last so long before they go away. Before Twitch won't hold them anymore. Once you're an affiliate, they'll keep them.
Don't they have to pay to see the old ones? Don't you subscribe to see the old ones then?
Yeah, exactly. But as of right now, you can just jump over to twitch.tv/clinicallyinane and watch it over there too, or just follow us over there. And you can, if you follow us and turn on notifications, you'll get an alert.
Are you using the same streaming Twitch account for your game streaming as you are for this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So fortunately, be stuck with Curtis's game alerts also.
I completely changed the entire account so that it's not my account anymore. It's Clinically Inane's account now. But I will be doing some game streaming on it. That's the plan.
So
right
if it's
now.
not a Saturday morning, there's a good chance it's Curtis game streaming, which is far less interesting.
Depends on the game. Gonna get that. I'm gonna get a few more things before I can get the old Xbox hooked up to stream that. Yeah. That could be really fun. Get to play some old Xbox games.
True.
But in the meantime, it'll be PlayStation 4 games. Whatever I feel like playing.
Could the Switch hook up to it?
I need the capture card to do that. Yeah. But for now.
PC games?
Yeah, I can do PC games, but I'm probably not going to.
Live streaming Civ 5.
Yeah. I mean, I could. People do. But.
Live streaming Mahjong.
Yeah. I'm going to live stream my solitaire game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That is almost a wonderful. That's almost becomes a performance art piece at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, clinically.inane.us and twitch.tv/clinicallyinane.
This is me. Well, ooh, can we start live streaming doing like jigsaw puzzles?
No.
Oh.
All right. That's it for this week.
All right.
Bye, kids.
Bye, kids.
Fucking weirdo.
Oh, yeah.